Parkway in Jessup.
At Broadhurst Landfill, keeping our communities safe is the most important thing we do. Our local team of environmental managers, engineers, and scientists ensure that the long-term management of the landfill is safe for our workers, customers, and the environment. To learn more, visit our website at www.broadhurstlandfill.com, or you can go to the website, click Visit Us, and sign up for a tour to see firsthand how we operate. We hope to see you soon.
The January clearance event is going on now at Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. Get up to $10,000 off new 2016 F-150s and up to $10,000 off 2017 Expeditions, plus 0% financing. Credit problems are no problem at Mike Birch. Our finance department is ready to put you in a new car for the new year. Remaining 2016 inventory has got to go now, so don't miss out on the savings. Come see them at Mike Birch Ford or 24/7 at MikeBirchFordBlackshear.com.
The January clearance event has started at Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. We're overstocked on new vehicles, huge savings, and top dollar for your trade. Right now, up to $10,000 off remaining 2016 F-150s, $10,000 off 2017 Expeditions, and 0% financing. Plus our free lifetime powertrain warranty on all new vehicles. Stop the search. Call Mike Birch, 912-449-4446 or 24/7 at MikeBirchFordBlackshear.com. 0% financing with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Big Dog Country, WIFO-FM in Jessup, 105.5 in your FM dial. Good morning. Butch Hubbard here with you. Tuesday morning, 7th day of February. Just about 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. And it is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, by Republic Services, and by Jessup Premium Stores located out here on the Waycross Highway. Well, it's Tuesdays, and we've set up Tuesdays with Tillery. And we have Blake Tillery, Bob, on the phone with us, and I'm sure you've got some questions for our state senator. Good morning.
Good morning, Blake. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
We're doing great. How you doing?
Doing okay, Bob.
Has the legislature passed today warning for all the land?
Say that one more time. I couldn't hear you.
I said it's a state legislature passed today a warning for the entire state of Georgia after that Super Bowl loss.
If they haven't done it, then we're doing it personally.
State legislature after that fiasco on Sunday.
I can barely hear you, though. I can hear about every other word. I apologize, Bob.
I'm sorry. I said, what is the state of the legislature? What's the reaction in Atlanta? You're up there in Atlanta.
We're trying to pretend it didn't happen. So,
Pretend it didn't happen.
It's pretty sad. I think we're all, though, very happy for the season that the Falcons had, but the meltdown in the fourth quarter, we're feeling, we're all upset about that one. It kind of reminds me of when I was a kid in 1991, watching Kirby Puckett hit that home run and knock us out of there. So, it brought back bad memories.
It was a sad day. But anyway, you're up there in the legislature. How many more days you have left?
Today, I think, is day 13, so we've got a few more after this. I guess about 36 more after 37 more, however many it is to get to 40. But it looks like we're going to actually adjourn in about a month and a half out from now, at the end of March 30th. Looks like it's going to be the dead day, sunny day.
What's been going on in Atlanta? Tell us what the legislature.
A few things. It takes a while to get bills through committee. So last year you saw the first, I'd say, substantive bills hit. Last week hit the Senate floor. It had the hospital provider fee. It was something that really is it's a no-brainer from a state level. I still don't understand why the feds would make that deal where the state puts up $1 that we collect from hospitals, and the feds will match that with a $2 match, and all $3 then return to the hospitals here in Georgia for treating indigent, those who can't pay. Our hospitals in our area really asked for it. Wayne Memorial, Joe Irati called and made sure I understood where they were on it. It's a net winner for our region. It passed the Senate overwhelmingly. Another bill that came up of interest to some people possibly is the craft brewers bill. I don't think we got any breweries in the 19th, but there's some around. Savannah, I think, has a couple. Statesboro. They were actually prohibited from selling the brew they were making in their facility or their own site. And this allowed them to be able to at least do that. So those two bills passed the Senate, and I say we're ramping it up because we have 2 bills the past week, and now we have 2 today that are coming through. And then tomorrow will be even busier. As things move through committee, it gets a little bit quicker. Today you've got a bill concerning mental health. That's an issue that's really facing all of our local governments. We don't know what to do. You know, when someone's bleeding, it's easy to see the blood. It's easy to put a tourniquet on it and stop it. But mental health is sometimes harder to see. And it's really a lot harder to know how to fix. And so we've got a task force being formed of law enforcement officers, advocates, folks who provide mental health services and others to study and see if we can come up with an answer for that. I don't know if we'll have an answer, but maybe we can do something a little better than we're doing. And then another bill that will be voted on today in the Senate is rural hospital tax credits. Right now, if someone wanted to take and donate money to Wayne Memorial, for instance, they could do so. They'll receive a 70% tax credit on their state income taxes for doing so. This bill allows them to do that for LLCs as well. If they have a company and they want to donate that, they'll receive a 70% credit. The kind of interesting thing about this bill is I know there's a House bill coming over that takes that number of 70 and moves it actually to 90. I think that has a good chance of passing as well. Again, it's just trying to do things that think outside the box concerning rural health.
You just joined us, Blake Tillery, on the phone with us too. So Tillery, the budget, has it been approved already?
No, sir. The big budget's in the House. The little budget, the amended budget, which passed originally last year, and then when it comes over in the mid-year mark, you know, we run on a fiscal year from July to June in the state side. The amended budget comes over, which pertains to money concerning schools and the fundings there. That's in the Senate now. I imagine it'll get to the Senate floor, if not this week, next week. Not a whole lot of controversy in that one. The big budget, though, is still in the House, and it probably won't get passed until we get a little bit more into March.
Last time we talked to you, you mentioned you're on several committees. So how many committee meetings do you get to go to, and how does your day go? You know, how do you balance going to committee meetings and being in the session?
Well, that's a good question. The committee that I have is the busiest is Judiciary. And really, there's not anything that I can think of right now that would be of a ton of interest to the folks back home in that, but it's really the nuts and bolts of what moves through the legislature. We've got some things, in fact, I'm carrying a couple of bills right now through the Judiciary Committee that will be dropped today or maybe tomorrow, depending on really what happens time-wise, concerning adoptions, public defenders, juvenile courts, a bill for the judges. I don't practice in juvenile court at all, but I do understand where having a juvenile system that works is important to our state. I also don't do adoptions as an attorney, but the bill there deals with parental rights. You can end up in these weird situations where someone has adopted a child, but the parental rights of the person who either put them up for adoption or maybe wasn't involved in the child's life, they try to reassert themselves. And we got to make sure we don't have different rulings where the child's been adopted, it's been living with a family for 2 or 3 years, and then they're kind of ripped from that situation. So I got a bill to carry trying to address that. The other bill you're going to see me drop soon is the one that on the scholarship winner that we had last year concerning taxes. If you owe taxes, I don't know that it's necessarily the best idea that you have the ability to run for public office and turn out everybody else's money is spent if you're having a hard time making your own contributions to the state. So having that drafted, I think it'll fall pretty soon.
I'm curious, recently down here in this area, we had a case in Wayne County Court where it was a drug case, but it talked about a prisoner in a Valdosta State prison running a drug cartel from the prison. Also, we had a guy plead guilty for having drones sent into the prison. Is there any talk about the judicial system up there at all, and the prison system, the problems that the law enforcement are having with prisoners able to obtain cell phone service?
Yes. Some of our prisons, in fact, I'm on state institutions and government. That committee kind of helps oversee what's going on with prisons, and we're looking at some of those things. The problem you've got is some of these guys that are in our prison system are quite ingenious. If you put those powers to good, there's no telling how much money they could make. But they got a lot of time on their hands, and that time can be used to figure ways around the system. You're never going to develop a foolproof system. I've come to that realization. But you're right, with technology and the things that technology now allows, we're having to address things that we never thought we would. Used to, if you go by Georgia State Prison, which is one of the best routes between Bonney and Jessup, and I drive it quite a lot, you see the nets they put up. That used to be big enough. You put the nets up, nobody could shoot an air cannon over to launch the cell phone in. Well, that's not not necessarily the case anymore with drones. You're right. You've seen some of these prisons put in scramblers. The issue with scramblers is that scrambles, if a prisoner has a phone, it scrambles it, but it also scrambles the guard's phone if that's what they're trying to use to call the front desk if there's an issue. So there's multiple, there's some answers that you would think would be really simple, but they actually create more problems themselves.
Yeah, talking to Sheriff John Carter, Tom District Attorney Jackie Johnson, they said they could shut down the cell phone service if they wanted to, but they said the obstacle was the Federal Communication Commission. And Jackie Johnson was talking about these prisoners not only have cell phones, some of them have iPads. I mean, it seems like the prisoners have more rights than the normal average citizen. That's what people are having a hard time grasping, why they have so many rights.
Thanks for bringing that up about the FCC. I'll talk to Jackie about that. She was up here last week. I actually saw her then, and I'm making a note right now to talk to her about that issue she may be having with the FCC.
Okay, let's go. Anything else we need to touch on? Again, we appreciate you tuning in. Like I said, you know a lot more what's going on. Like I said, with Donald Trump making news every day, I mean, it's hard to get. You don't really hear about what's going on with the legislature, so we appreciate you calling in and telling us what's going on.
Sometimes I think Joel needs to have, I think our citizens would appreciate if we passed fewer laws, maybe repealed some. In fact, some of mine, actually, one of the things I've looked at is make sure that we're taking out more words than we're putting in, and trying to simplify that where we can. But other than that, it's kind of quiet right now. You'll see the budget. You'll see some of these things I've heard. And again, if there's anyone who's listening who has an issue going on, I have had a few calls from Jessup on opiate legislation and also on ophthalmology versus optometry bills, and some pharmacy bills as well. A lot of it seems to revolve around medical issues right now. So if they have any other questions, please feel free to send me an email. It's blake.tillery@senate.ga.gov or call the office 404-656-0089. I always look forward to seeing friendly faces.
Okay, Blake, we appreciate you calling in every Tuesday, and we'll look forward to next Tuesday.
Thank y'all for the opportunity. Butch and Bob, y'all have a good day.
Okay, again, those comments of Blake Tillery, again, Tuesdays with Tillery here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
All right, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. We got another guest on the Butch and Bob Show. They'll be on the air in just a minute.
Saturday, February 25th, Big Dog Country WIFO presents The John Conley Show. John Conley. Saturday, February 25th, 7 p.m. at Coastal Pines Technical College in Jessup. And yes, The John Conley Show. Tickets available locally at Sears, online at www.itickets.com or by phone 800-965-9324. Book this John Conley, Saturday, February 25th, 7 p.m. at Coastal Pines Technical College in Jessup.
Damon's Restaurant is open 7 days a week and offers daily specials and has a wide variety of menu items from salads to wings to burgers and fries. And check out their famous turkey burger. Damon's is famous for their variety of sauces, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. When it comes to party platters, Damon's can make your party special. Simply call the order ahead of time by calling 588-WING, 588-9464. Damon's famous fingers and wings continues to please its customers. If you're looking for a great meal any day of the week, stop by and enjoy Damon's. You stop in or use the drive-thru at the location 336 West Cherry Street. That's Damon's Restaurant at Wayne County favorite.
All right, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. And Bob, as usual, with the session of things seems to start slow, but I guarantee you in the next week or two when we're talking with Tuesdays with Tillery, things going to be hopping.
I'm sure it's going to pick up. I said, right now it's no news. And as my friends always joke with me, no news is good news. I said, none of my business. But
well, Bob, we got a special guest on this morning.
Yeah, we do. I think a church event's taking place. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them what's taking place.
Well, my name is Preston Groover. I am the minister of music at First Baptist Church of Jessup, and we have a special event coming up this Friday evening. We are welcoming in concert to Jessup, Georgia, the Christian trio Selah and also Missy Robertson from Duck Dynasty.
Well, that's quite a pair you got coming in there. You got great entertainment, and you got someone who everybody sees all the time, and got a great testimony for her and her family.
It is, and we are excited to have these folks coming. The tour is called the Blessed and Unbreakable Tour, and there's kind of a little history behind this. Selah is getting ready to release a new CD called Unbreakable, so that's the unbreakable part. Missy is the author of a new book called Blessed, 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 and so there's where you get the Blessed and the Unbreakable tour. Selah will be doing a lot of the songs off of the CD that they are getting ready to release, and Missy will be speaking about things what do you do with situations in life when you realize they just can't be fixed, and how do you hold on to your faith? I think a lot of people look at her on television. She's one of the stars of Duck Dynasty, and they think, wow, she must have a charmed life. But she and her husband, Jace, have 3 children. They face real-life problems just like we do, and so she's going to be speaking to that as well.
Okay, and it's all coming up this weekend, right?
This weekend, the concert starts at 7 o'clock. The doors open at 6 o'clock. Tickets are still available either at our church office at 185 South Brunswick Street, or you can go to www.jessupfbc.org and purchase tickets there as well.
All right, it's this Saturday, right?
This Friday.
This Friday,
February the 10th.
February 10th, Friday night. Doors open at 6. The event starts at 7 o'clock at First Baptist Church on Brunswick Street in downtown Jessup.
That is correct.
And that's you've got some CDs there that you'd like for us to give away. Which CDs are these?
We do. This is Selah's latest CD called You Amaze Us. The title track from this CD, You Amaze Me, premiered at #1 on Billboard charts, and we've got a couple of CDs that we would like to give away just to bless some folks. So
okay, we'll give those away in just a moment. And tell us a little bit about Selah. What do you know of them, their history, their performances?
Selah is an interesting group. They have traveled the world. They are winners of 7 Gospel Dove Awards. One of the most interesting things I think about Selah is they're billed as a contemporary Christian trio, but their music has crossed generational boundaries. They have been the leader of premiering some of the favorite contemporary songs that we sing, such as Wonderful, Merciful Savior. A lot of folks are familiar with that. They did a stellar cover of Josh Groban's You Raise Me Up, and that one went to #1 on the Billboard charts. But they can do some songs like Amazing Grace, Great Is Thy Faithfulness, The Old Rugged Cross. They do arrangements of those songs that will just absolutely blow you away. So Selah is one of those groups that has something for everybody. And if you come out to the concert, I'm sure there will be something, you'll hear something that you will enjoy.
Okay. And do they go first, or does Missy go first?
I'm not really sure about that.
Sure how that works.
I think Selah is probably going to take the stage first, and then at some point they'll break, and Missy will speak, and then maybe come back with Selah for a little bit more music. We'll find that out Friday.
Okay, Friday at First Baptist Church, the gospel group Selah. Lots of awards in their industry, a lot of #1 songs. Will be performing at First Baptist Church on Friday night. Missy from Duck Dynasty, she's going to be there talking about her new book and some of the obstacles that they've had to overcome in their family, and ways of doing that and the ways to continue to move forward.
That's correct.
Okay, all at First Baptist Church. You can stop by on Brunswick Street and go ahead and get your tickets and be there Friday night. Doors open up at 6. Performances at 7 o'clock at First Baptist Church on Brunswick Street in downtown Jessup. Why don't we give away these 2
that would
CDs?
Be great.
Okay, let me see one of the CDs here. Okay, this is their latest CD. Now they have another one coming out.
They do,
and soon, called Unbreakable.
Next month.
But this is their latest one called You Amaze Me, and featuring their #1 hit, You Amaze Me. This is the gospel group Selah, and it's got 14 different selections on it. So what we want to do right now is to give away these 2 CDs, okay? And so let's take, we'll do by callers, and I'll play a couple commercials so I can answer the phone here. We'll take callers number 5 and 6. 5 and 6. So if you're caller 5 or if you're caller 6 at 427-3711 or 427-3712, 427-3711 or 427-3712. If you're caller 5 or 6, you will win a CD, a Selah CD. It's entitled You Amaze Me. Callers 5 and 6 will win. 427-3711. Call now and good luck. And we'll let you know who the winners are in a couple of minutes.
Hello, Sybil's Family Restaurant.
Hi, is Ralph there?
Ralph, no one named Ralph works here. This is Sybil's Family Restaurant. You sure you've got the right number?
I don't know. I'm looking for Ralph. Is he there?
Well, let me see if I can find him for you. What does Ralph look like?
Well, he's got white hair and spots.
White hair and spots?
Uh-huh.
Is Ralph your dog?
He's a Dalmatian.
But this is Sybil's Family Restaurant. Why would your dog be here?
You always say you have something for everyone.
And we do. The best fried chicken around. Plus, you can enjoy our daily lunch buffet, nightly dinner buffet, Friday seafood buffet, and Sunday buffet, too. Or order anytime from our extensive menu. You'll want to be sure you always leave room for our homemade desserts, too. But maybe you should look out in your backyard for Ralph.
That's okay. I'll just call his cell phone.
We've got something for everyone at Sybil's Family Restaurant, close to the intersection of 341 and Highway 84 in Jessup.
Do you suffer from constant pain? Does your pain make life miserable at home, with family and at work? Do you feel helpless and without hope? At Advanced Healthcare Center on South 1st Street in Jessup, they understand that constant pain is an awful condition that can lead to depression, disability, and utter despair. Advanced Healthcare now offers 2 proven effective treatments to reduce and relieve constant pain. Percutaneous electric nerve or PINS treatments and decompression traction therapy are highly effective at relieving constant pain in the spine, muscles, nerves, and other joints. Their highly trained healthcare professionals at Advanced Healthcare can fully evaluate, diagnose, and treat your constant pain syndrome and help restore your life and hope again. These new treatment options, combined with proper medication management, chiropractic, physical, and massage therapy, are covered by most major insurance plans. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Call Advanced Healthcare Center in Jessup today at 427-8433. Feel better today.
Well, we've had our winners. The phones just continue to ring off the hook here, and I don't blame them for wanting to try to win this CD. Tiffany Tillman was caller number 5, Tiffany Tillman. And then Debbie Harold. Debbie Harold was the second caller, and she says her granddaughter loves the group Selah. So that was really good to hear there. So Tiffany Tillman and Debbie Harold, the 2 winners there of the CDs. Selah, You Amaze Me is the title of it. And Preston, I'm sure we got a couple of happy people there.
I think we do.
Okay, we appreciate you bringing those CDs in for giveaways here. People just love winning stuff. And so once again, go over the highlights of what's happening this Friday night at First Baptist Church here in Jessup.
Friday night, February the 10th, we will have in concert the contemporary Christian trio Selah and Missy Robertson from Duck Dynasty. The doors will open at 6. The concert will start at 7 o'clock. Tickets are available at our church office on Brunswick Street or by visiting our church website, www.jessupfbc.org.
Okay, well, sounds good. And good luck with the concert on Friday night. I'm sure it's going to be a packed house. We got Selah there and Missy coming in from Duck Dynasty to talk about her testimony, her new book. Ought to be just a packed house there at First Baptist Church here in Jessup.
We're looking forward to it. Thank y'all for having us this morning.
All right, Big Dog Country Radio, 105.5 FM in Jessup. And we'll be back more of the world-famous Butch and Bob show in a moment.
Blue Collar Heating and Air is your top-of-the-line Carrier dealer. They service many brands and specialize in new installations, upgrading existing equipment, and airflow problems. They also have a large variety of hard-to-find filters in stock. So when quality counts, call the air conditioning experts, Richard Whitley and David Dial at Blue Collar Heating and Air, 427-6400. For weekend service emergencies, they have an experienced service technician on call. So remember, when quality counts, choose Carrier and turn to the experts at Blue Collar Heating and Air, 1907 Sunset Boulevard in Jessup, serving Wayne County and surrounding areas.
Big Dog Country Radio, 105.5 FM in Jessup. At the time now is 8:27. World famous Butch and Bob show on this Tuesday morning. And Bob, interesting county council meeting last night. 2 different attorneys, 1 ordinance, wetland ordinance here in Wayne County. 2 completely different opinions on what should be done with it. It is what it is. You know, I remember one time remember we had the state Supreme Court. It'd be like the head of the state Supreme Court. I don't know what they call him, the Chief Justice of the state Supreme Court. We had him on the world famous Butch and Bob show many years ago. It was back when we were in our old building. And I asked him, I said, how can 9 judges look at a ruling, a law, a court case with the laws on hand, and 5 vote for one way and 4 vote the other?
And he says it's because of the language in the law, that if the laws were written in more specific language, there wouldn't be all these controversies and things taken to court, and there would be so many different opinions on what the law means. I don't know if that was just a way for him to say, hey, we're just going to give our opinions on it, or that's the way it is. But I remember asking him that question, is how could 9 judges look at the same case and 5 have one different opinion and 4 have another? And it's just saying, he just says, okay, it's the way the laws are written. How are they interpreted? What did the legislature mean when they wrote this law? Did they do enough specifics in it, or was it too vague? And so you got 5 judges to vote one way and 4 the other. Or is it more personal opinion? I don't know. But we've got...
it's common knowledge in a legal dispute. Somebody has to make the ultimate decision. So, following the story, it's becoming more and more obvious that that's where this is most likely headed.
Well, you know that the coal ash committees have the advertising running. Donate to the legal fund to fund the coal ash situation. They probably know it's going to go to court, so they have been asking the citizens of this area to donate to it. So it's going to be interesting to see how much money, because it looks like if it's going to go to court, it's going to be the no coal ash committee that actually is going to take it to court. Because as you mentioned, the county commissioners that definitely do not want to get into another legal fight with the company, especially one I guess they have a contract with, and they've got their attorney telling them not to go into a legal fight on it. So I guess it would be the no coal ash committee, and that's the reason why they've been asking for months and months and months now for people to contribute to this legal fund. So would that be your interpretation of what may happen? You don't know.
I wouldn't venture to guess.
You'd venture to guess that. All right.
I would not venture to guess.
Oh, you would not venture to guess that. You would not venture to guess that they would go to, well, if they're going to the legal fund, then you don't think the no coal ash committee would take it to court, even though they've been asking for funds for months now from folks to fund the legal action committee here on this?
I don't know.
You don't know?
You have to ask them.
You have to ask them. Okay, maybe we need to ask them, what their thoughts and feelings on this is. But the county commissioners are in a situation right now where they're being advised by their attorney and by attorneys they went to out of town not to do it. So
I mean, up to this point, their stance is they want the commissioners to stand up and enforce the ordinance. I mean, that was the statement again last night. Peggy Riggins just basically looked at the commissioner and said, you're going to be reviewed for 1 or 2 things. One, you sold out to big business and sold the county's health out the window, or you're going to stand up and protect the citizens of Wayne County. So right now, the commissioners haven't taken any stance. I said, but they have, like I said, they pay an attorney. He gives them advice every day. But I said it last week, and I'll say it again. Not only they have sought the attorney's opinion locally, they have reached out and spent money out of county taxpayers' dollars for other law firms.
A law firm that specializes in this.
Firms, not firms. Several. All have come back, said, your attorney is telling you exactly what you need to be told. You cannot fight this. They have not broken any laws. It will not hold up in court. So they're taking the advice of not only their local attorney, but other firms that they paid other legal opinions to tell them and advise them which way to go. So,
okay. Well, it'll be interesting to see which way this goes. At least we know that no coal ash is going to be dumped into Broadhurst during 2017. So that's good news for the folks, practically every single Wayne County and around that, we really don't want the coal ash here. And so at least during 2017, we're not going to get it.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. No 2017. So nobody wants the coal ash here, but it'll be interesting to see what happens in 2018. Nobody that lives in Wayne County or Bradley County or Glenn County, Ware County, all the counties around.
Stress to the commissioners, the invitation invitation's open. We stressed to Republic, the invitation's open. Again, they have more information than I have. I'm just following the story and trying to get both sides of the story. There's two sides of the story. You know, if you were at that meeting last night or listened to the report this morning, listen again at 12 and 5:10, you'll see it is totally polar opposite views. One attorney says this, and the other attorney says exactly the opposite. So they're the commissioners deciding where they're supposed to go. But like I said, at this point in time, one, they start every year borrowing $4.5 million. Two, they just went through a legal dispute with a big company and lost millions and millions of dollars. So they're definitely gun shy. They don't want to seek and go that route again. So they're taking the advice of their attorney, other law firms, all stating that at this point, their stance should be, we're doing nothing except honoring the agreement we have with Republic Services at this point.
And that's the reason why I said it doesn't look like the county commissioners will do anything because of the legal advice they're receiving, and that's what you would expect them to do, or head of any company. But it looked like maybe the coal ash committee, for months they were trying to get folks to donate to the legal fund, may do that.
And again, it still seems like if you listen to those attorneys, it comes down to semantics, and we've said that before. EPD at the federal level changed the definition of coal ash. At one time, it was toxic and hazardous. Now it's listed as non-hazardous, non-toxic. So Republic stance is, yeah, the ordinance says you can't put anything toxic in the landfill, but guess what? The federal government says it's no longer toxic and hazardous, so guess what? It's fair game. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And that's why I said before, and I'll say it again, if you're listening, get about 10 bus loads. Let's go to Washington, D.C., stand out in front of the White House with our signs, no coal ash, get some national publicity, and make the federal government wake up and change the language back to where it was before. Because no one, and I mean no one, has been able to give the answer why they changed the terminology.
Well, at least we were told when and who did it and all that. We know when it was done. We know who did it, but why did they change it?
Obama's person in charge of the EPA changed it. And I said the theory is, again, the reason they changed it because they used to put in those ponds, and all heck broke loose when the hurricanes came through, so they had to find another location to put it. And the federal government's determined that it goes in lined landfills. Guess who has lined landfills? Broadhurst Landfill. So they're in business to make money, and other companies are making money. There's one in Folkestone, Georgia, taking it by the tons. There's one in Athens taking it by the tons. I mean, there's several landfills in the state of Georgia that are hauling it in every day.
All right, Bob. Well, good story on that. Presenting both sides of the issue last night from last night's
mortgage and see what they know that we don't know, because they're just hauling it. That's only what, an hour down the road.
No, a little over. Yeah, probably just about around an hour or so.
30 miles from 800, 30 miles to folks.
Yeah, about an hour down the road.
It's 60 miles down 301.
Yeah, just right down 301. Just get on down.
They're hauling it in every day.
All right, well, so
I guess where are those people? Why aren't they jumping them down, yelling, screaming, hollering?
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on down there. Do they have a rail spur there, or is it just coming through by truckloads?
I don't know. I said I need to take a trip to Folkestone and talk to those commissioners in there and see what their stance is. But
okay,
you don't see rides in Folkestone, but they're taking it into their landfill every day, and that's fact. There's one in Athens taking it every day. There's 2 landfills in the state of Georgia that are taking coal ash as we speak, and I've got the list of those 2. I don't have the exact name in front of me, but I have those 2 landfills, and I know one's down in Folkestone, Georgia.
Okay.
And that's only an hour from Wayne County.
Okay. All right. Have we heard? Somebody wants to know from a text message. Have we heard from the Commissioner of the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, Mark Williams, on this? Have we heard anything from him? Somebody wants to know that.
I'm sure that's the commissioners. You know, they keep getting bashed. They've talked to everyone they can talk to. They've talked to every state. They've talked to Blake Tillery. They've talked to Chad Nimmer. They've talked to Bill Werkheiser. They've talked to Governor Nathan Deal. They've talked to Mark Williams. They've talked to Johnny Isaacson. They've talked to Buddy Carter. They've talked to everybody they can talk to. And not one person that says, go ahead and break that contract.
Okay, so everybody says it's a legal binding contract.
They say they can't do anything about it. They said it's a federal issue, state issue.
Okay.
Until they change those laws, everybody the commissioners talked to have told them
there's nothing we can do. So again, it's going to come down to a legal battle, and someone with a robe in a court of law is going to have to make a determination in which these two sides and these two legal opinions, someone's have to make a ruling on who's right, who's wrong. Like I said, it's like a divorce. Your attorney's going to fight for you, her attorney's going to fight for her, and when you go to court, the judge is going to rule. Guess what? Neither one's going to like it much, because it's going to cost you both money, and you're going to wind up not real happy.
Well, it won't go to court if no one takes it to court. You'd have to have the no coal ash committee or someone like that take it to court. If not, then they would just move forward with it.
Mr. Neesmith, with all this, is not going to take it to court, or somebody's going to, you don't think it's going to wind up in court?
Well, I'm just saying that's the reason why I asked the question. They've been asking for funds for months and months now for the legal fund for this. And to me, it seems like if they move forward with the rail spur and more coal ash coming in, which we don't have to worry about in 2017. They already said, Republic Services already said they're not going to bring in 2017. But if it does go to court, it seems like that's going to be the committee, that's going to be the folks that would take it to court, not the county itself.
Well, like I said, right now, their stance is they want the county to fight this battle. They want the county to enforce the ordinance. I mean, that's been their plea from day one. They think the ordinance, as Laura Roberts says, she believes it's enforceable, whereas the other attorney says it's not. So,
well, the only thing the county can go by is by what its attorney has said and why the legal advice is received from these other firms,
and that's what
and the state elected officials for this area, and that's why they've all told them you probably don't want to go to court. Isn't that what you said?
That's why they've taken no action.
Okay, that's right. Okay, sounds good. Well, it's a hot issue. We'll continue to be a hot issue here in Wayne County for quite a while to come, it seems like, and we'll stay on top of the story. Good job covering that meeting, Bob.